Hi there, friends. Doc Zed here. I want to share with you all I've learned about Stifficus corpicus reanimatus, or zombie, to you laymen out there. I have spent my entire life researching this fascinating being. From the remote jungle scare in the Congo in '77 to the sewer people eater incident in India of '81. I've been there, hip waders on, compiling data since the beginning. Now I know you would have thought me batshit crazy a month ago. I know the boys at the Pentagon, Homeland Security, the FBI, NSA, and my mom all did. That doesn't seem to matter much, since all of those agencies have collapsed, and my mom was eaten by the ladies at the Lions Club. I told her it was a silly organization anyway. But enough of all that. On to the meat of the subject. Now, first things first, if you're not being consumed by a zombie right now, then you can move on to the next instruction. If you are in fact being consumed right now, being that, like other scavenger predators, the zombie prefers to start guts first, you may want to spend the time you have left reading something more enjoyable. I prefer popular mechanics. If you find yourself bitten by a zombie, but not on your way to becoming zombie fecal matter, you have options. Option number 1. Lay down with your head resting across a still active Amtrak, take a nap, and wait for further instruction. Option number 2. Chain yourself with a stout chain anchored to a very heavy object. Then push said object into a deep hole or into a deep body of water. Then wait for further instruction. Option number 3. Find a firearm and shoot yourself in the head. And wait for further instruction. If neither of the aforementioned is the case, allow me to congratulate you. You are not completely screwed, as some might say. There's a lot to be done, though. I hope you're not lazy or extremely busy with other endeavors, because zombie survival is a very demanding. But it really pays off if you stick with it. First, take a lesson from our old friend the prairie dog. Make yourself scarce. If they can't see you, they can't follow you. And if they can't follow you, they can't catch you. And if they can't catch you, they can't very well eat you. This is the main idea of this whole instruction. Don't get eaten by zombies. That is, unless you feel guilty about something, or maybe you're really sad. If that's the case, well, maybe it's for the best. Next, like the good squirrel, always be foraging. Tools, food, weapons, and other things will give you the means to see another day. Also, like our old friend the chipmunk, who stores food in its cheeks, waits not, want not. You never know when this nut may be your last nut. If you find yourself pursued at any point, remember, never run in a straight line. Some of my earlier studies suggest that if you move about erratically, changing direction often, this will confuse the dead. They may become frustrated and give up. Keep in mind, this doesn't always work. Usually when people run in a small circle and fall down. But find what works best for you. Trial and error, as I always say. Now, if we find ourselves being cornered because we haven't been paying attention to our instruction, or we absolutely have to fight, here are some important things to remember. Keep your gluteus to the wall. Don't leave your ass to chance. Always find an exit route. If you find yourself in a zombie fight, only discover that you are no good at it. You will benefit greatly if you can see yourself to the door. Always find an equalizer. My research has shown that zombies get really lonely. So, they move about in groups to counteract this fear of being alone. So because of this, you should have a weapon capable of tipping the scale in your favor. Always keep them at a distance. If you're close enough that their smell becomes an unpleasant taste, you have allowed them too close. Be creative. You are only limited to your imagination. You never know what helpful thing that you might piece together. And since there's no more television programming to entertain your jelly-like gray matter, this may be your only source of enjoyment. Remember, in all things, try to have fun. Why, if I hadn't have had my pet ferret, Mr. Skittles, with me, and if I hadn't have made little costumes out of hemp and jungle vine, I might never survive the Congo with my sanity. Anyway, friends, these are the instructions that teach zombie survival in you. It is important to remember that with all scientific studies, it's hit and miss. A work in progress. So, if you ever find that the employment of any of these scientific tactics fail, stop, relax, and find something nice to read.